Our next game is Glover, which was nominated by At Range Island. It was developed by Interactive Studios. It was published by Hasbro Interactive. For the Nintendo 64, its earliest known release date is October 13th, 1998. 1998. It looked like a 6 for a second there.
Very impressive if it was a 6.
Yeah, it would be very impressive. Okay, so the N64 is a console that was ostensibly designed for 3D platformers, but most of them on there, other than Mario 64, were actually developed by Rare, and they were like collect the jiggy type platformers, which I like, but will admit that it was kind of played out by 1998. And Glover's different. It's not the same type thing. So you control, instead of controlling a person, you control a hand, a disembodied hand.
You control the titular Glover.
Yes, indeed. And but the kind of twist to this game is that although the glove person can run around and stuff like a regular 3D platformer kind of protagonist, the game is really about moving this ball around.
And it is really about moving this ball. This game is like a game-long escort mission about babysitting this physics object.
Yes.
But I gotta give it credit, because this game has the most ball slapping of pretty much any game I've ever played.
We all love... Wait.
Even
no, we
Shroka?
don't.
All right. Well.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, let's... All right. Can that be our last testicle joke for the show? Okay. So,
I can't make any promises because it's all about balls. But.
Yeah,
I have not honestly thought of this game in a perverted context, and considering how much of a troll I tend to be, I'm surprised about that.
We might be.
No, it's a very lighthearted, innocent game.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Glover himself doesn't talk, or itself. I'm sorry.
It's one thing, real quick. There is one thing about this game I find kind of spooky.
Yeah.
When you go into the hub world, it's like this post-apocalyptic-esque red sky with like nothing but the sounds of evil laughter and wind blowing, and it's kind of dark.
It is.
Yeah,
the
intro to the game is like this wizard. He's like using his gloves to make a potion, and then somehow his gloves fall off, and then everything explodes, and whatever. It doesn't matter. But it's like, what the hell was this guy making? Like the end of the universe spell, and it's like, oh crap. And then you got to collect balls for some reason. Like that's the plot.
Moving the ball around is kind of interesting because you can slap the ball and you can bounce the ball, and
you have a lot. Like you have a surprisingly, it's actually overwhelming. I often got kind of turned around with what button I was trying to press. You can slap it, but you also can kind of aim it, slap it, and you can also upward slap it, and you can aim it, upward slap it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of like a pool game, like a billiards game, mixed with a 3D platformer. It's like Super Mario 64 meets Minnesota Fats Pool Legend.
I want to correct something real quick.
Go ahead.
I would not say this game is that much like your usual N64 3D platformer. It's not about collecting stuff. It's a pretty standard point A to point B kind of puzzle platformer.
I would disagree.
Well, there is a collection element in it.
You have to collect those things to unlock all the levels.
The bonus.
What do they call in this game?
Garibs, I believe. That's a weird game.
I think it's a joke. I think they call them Garibs because it sounds like garbage, and it's kind of like just random crap that you collect. I think they're going with that, but yeah. So each stage is presented in. It's like a little tiny stage. You just you go from a hub world to a sub-hub world, which is a collection of levels with a theme. The themes are like Roman, Greek-esque, circus, kind of like pirates and jungle, I think. I didn't get any further than that, so for all I know, the other stages are, let me just throw out random guess, space, and I don't know, popcorn machine. Let's go with that and hope that I'm right.
I can dig it. Is he right?
I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know where that.
Well, we know
from.
the popcorn machine is wrong, but does Glover go into space?
I really hope so.
I think that is actually the final level. I want to say that giant robot of some sort is the final boss. Like 2 robots, and then one of them is piloted by your arch-rival Cross-Stitch, the other wizard glove who fell into the vat. Cross-Stitch is basically like your Liquid Snake for this game. He's your...
I wish they had gone with an Oddjob pun for Cross-Stitch and called him Hat. Yeah, you can cut me off there.
Callie, you're being way too enthusiastic about this game. I hate to tell you.
I actually really, so before I kind of, and I think we're going to get to that pretty soon, before we kind of slander this game, because it's not actually, it's got some big problems, I want to say I really, really like that they tried something really cool with this game. You know, like the whole... You like the actual moving around is kind of cute, kind of fun. The character of Glover himself is actually really well done.
Very
like,
well animated, yeah.
So much personality. He's really cute because when he walks, his like butt kind of jiggles, and it's really funny, and it's so like lighthearted, like moving around. When you try and go off like a ledge, he actually sits on the ledge and just sort of looks around, like, you know, like kind of enthusiastically just hangs out on this ledge until you tell him to jump off it.
Makes me wish there was a Glover animated series.
I've never been so attracted to a 4-fingered glove before.
It is weird that he's 4-fingered. Like they just like, it's 4 fingers because it's easier. It makes sense. Don't question it.
If he got a 3rd finger, then it's kind of like he's got like this big swinging glove dong, you know? Because it's like, how do you walk with?
I know they made it 4-fingered because they were.
It's like it just doesn't. Light. I don't think it works like from an animation standpoint.
No, it definitely works, and the way he crawls is really great. Like he lies on his back and kind of crawls forward like a hand. It's really nice, like really
cool.
clever stuff.
Yeah, what is that? There's a Mickey Mouse cartoon where his gloves come to life, right?
Doesn't that happen in Fantasia, or does that not happen in Fantasia?
Well, the brooms come to life in Fantasia, but I think it's the one where he goes into like he jumps through the mirror and has like the dream where he like fights like the little miniature things on the other side of the mirror. I think he fights a glove on that one.
Cool.
And that's maybe I'm misremembering this, but
can I mention something else I like about the game's design? It does have some really chill music. I thought like the first track, 1-1, I guess you could say, reminded me of Massive Attack for some reason, like some, you know, mid-90s trip hop that was just, I mean, this is quite a British game, so I guess it's appropriate.
Boy, the music is great. Like, it genuinely is. Like, almost everything. The Pirates level 1 theme, not so good. It sounds like Jolly Roger music played on a xylophone. It sounds really stupid, but but
I gotta.
It's exactly that.
Oh my god!
Can I talk about my issues with this game real quick?
Okay.
Yeah, let's get to
if we're going to get to the issues, I do have a really big one, but Bob, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, let me go first. Okay, like I said, this game is about carrying a ball from one end of the level to another, and the problem is you really do have to babysit this ball because it can take damage and it can die, and you can lose it where it falls off a cliff and you just die because apparently Glover just loses the will to live, I guess.
Well, it's great because the game is designed so if anything happens to the ball, you lose a life and have to go back to the checkpoints, which are not too far spaced out, but they're not super close. And you have very limited lives. If you die and you lose all your lives, the game boots you out of the game, and you have to continue from your last save, which will be the last time you beat a level, essentially. And yeah, like the stages are like really not big. You know, like there's lots of thin platforms and small spaces that you kind of have to maneuver through. And then there's just like cliff and you just fall and you just lose. And it's like, you want me to roll a really awkward to control kind of physics heavy ball around a level. It's like playing Marble Madness if you had to follow the exact track perfectly or you lost instantly. Like that's essentially what the game is demanding of you. And if you accidentally leave the ball on like an edge, I think it can roll off and you just lose. So don't do that.
There was this one point in the carnivals, there's like this moving platform that goes up and down. And it took me like 10 tries to get the ball up there because it just kept rolling off over and over. And it just annoyed the crap out of me.
this is a game, like, you remember, like, the irritating stick game or whatever, where you have to try and precisely, it's an old-timey carnival thing also, you have to try and navigate, like, a thin metal bar between a pair of metallic thingies, or and you get shocked if you touch the edges. This entire game is like that, but like you have absolutely no control on your stick. That you're trying to guide a damn ball with the appropriate physics through just like all sorts of bottlenecks and whatnot. But like I do have a really specific main issue about the controls themselves, if I may. When you're not on the ball, jump is A. When you're on the ball, jump is B. This is unacceptable. I got confused so much.
You know what else?
That is a huge problem.
While I had it, oh my god, just...
This is great, 'cause you've led on to another issue, which is the game has lots of water. And to keep the logic of the game consistent, when you get in water, Glover hops onto the ball and, you know, does that, like, backwards paddle
like
thing.
A log rolling, lumberjack
Yeah.
games type thing, yeah.
Yeah, but the controls reverse. And they reverse like
Kills
instantly
me.
on you, so you're like, if you accidentally enter water, Glover can go into water, flip, and you're like, well, crap, and you'll actually go backwards, and you can get out of the water. So you're just like, come on,
Yeah, it's
I
like
just want to go in the water.
The very first set of levels apparently has an Atlantis theme to it, which means you're going to be dealing with a lot of water really early in the game. It's like, oh, hey, kids, play the tutorial. You know, you can bounce around and do all these moves. Ha ha ha, fuck you, you're not doing that. Have all this water, enjoy.
The tutorial is like literally one of the only parts in the entire game where you're in a nice closed-in area where you can't screw up and lose the ball. Almost every other level takes place in like ambiguous sky where everything is going to be horrible and fall off. And the game is full of enemies the further you get into it that just immediately throw the ball off the edge. Seriously,
You're not really made to fight a lot of them either. Like, it's like the ball slap takes like a whole second to set up, and some like bull head, like miniature bull, could just like bum rush you and pop the ball before you even get to do that.
like you can change the ball to the like it's the bowling ball. It's got like a few different modes, and I think it can't be hurt. It may be in the bowling ball mode. I'm not 100% sure.
That reminds me of something. Yeah, you can change into a bigger bowling ball, some sort of smaller like pinball or whatever. It can also change it into a crystal. I did this, and then I slapped the ball, then it hit a wall, it shattered, and I died. What the fuck? Why would they even allow that?
I don't
if
know
it's
what
just
the point of
an
that
instant lose
is.
Button? Is there some sort of esoteric, like...
Okay, one more thing. I want one more thing to say real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
There are like two things I think they could have done to make this game a lot better. One, this is kind of a thing for N64 platforms in general, so I guess it's not more forgivable. No, infinite lives, that's a big thing. I guess you could do fake that with a Game Shark, but two, this game needs a button just summon the ball to you, just bring it back to you. That would save on so much frustration.
Yeah, that would make a big difference. I don't know whether it would make the game too different, but yeah.
The game doesn't need to be too different to be, like, significantly better. It was just like, this game is so punishing for what's supposed to be a fun, lighthearted, like, platformer, and it's just so cruel. Okay, there's a little asshole enemy that's basically like a Chomp or a Bow Wow from Mario. If you get close to this guy, he will immediately hit the ball off the edge. Just immediately. That's what he does. And they're hiding in crates and stuff, and it's like, Jesus, everything in this game is... There's a chicken that steals the ball and rolls away with it. Like, it's cute and clever, but it's also incredibly frustrating. I put it above Bugs Bunny and Rabbit Rampage.
I was gonna say, between Rainbow Islands and Revolution X.
I would also... I second Bobinator.
Okay. You guys can put it high if you want. I actually do like Glover a lot. I just hate, the game is just an unending torment.
As somebody who doesn't really hold a lot of love for this game coming in, I might want to lowball a little more. How about between Haunting and Riven? I don't know, is that...
I would rather play Glover than Riven, but...
Of course, because we all hate Riven. Oh, well, I did place it higher than Riven, so...
I mean, you guys, like, look, I mean, the thing is, Glover is a game that gets more frustrating the further you get into it. That's
true.
The problem.
I think it has, it does definitely have a lot of personality and a pleasing aesthetic quality.
I wish Glover was a great game.
Yeah, I do too.
That's a good way of putting it. It's just...
And that makes it, I think that's a good reason to rank it lower in a way, because it's such a cool idea that is spoiled by execution. That's a problem.
I'm going to dock it down even lower. How about between Mega Man 02 and the New Zealand story?
That's cool. I mean, New Zealand Story is another game in a line of, oh, it's cute. Oh, this game is, oh my god.
That's why I thought of when my eyes came across the New Zealand Story just now, so.
Okay, that's where we're going to put it. Done.
You okay with that, Bob?
Works for me.